What if one man, writing from a tiny apartment in 19th century Russia, saw the fall of humanity decades before it began? What if he predicted that the greatest threat to man was not war, poverty, or suffering, but a world without them? What if he saw through the lie of communism before Karl Marx's ideas had even reached their full power? This is the story of Fyodor Dostoevsky, and the paragraph he wrote that shattered Marxism at its core. A warning, a prophecy, and a revelation of the war inside every human soul. Marx and the dream of utopia. Let's begin with Karl Marx. To his followers, he was a liberator, a man of science and revolution. He promised to free the masses from exploitation. In his eyes, history was a battlefield between classes, the poor and the rich, the workers and the owners, the oppressed and the oppressors. And the only way forward? Revolution. The workers must rise, seize the factories, take the land, control the economy, and build a classless, stateless utopia. No masters, no servants, no suffering. On paper, it sounds almost holy. Who wouldn't want a society without poverty, hunger, and despair? But Dostoevsky saw something far more dangerous than inequality. He saw the death of the human soul, the birth of the underground man. In 1864, Dostoevsky released one of the strangest novels ever written. Notes from Underground. There is no hero, no clear plot. Just a man in a basement, ranting. He's angry, cynical, self-loathing. He admits to being petty, cruel, and cowardly. He hates happy people. He mocks idealists. He despises society and himself. But this broken man sees the truth. He becomes Dostoevsky's mouthpiece, a mirror held up to mankind. And through his pain, he issues one of the most terrifying critiques of communism ever written. Utopia, Exposed. The underground man envisions the world Marxists dream of. Shower upon man every earthly blessing. Drown him in a sea of happiness. Give him perfect comfort, infinite pleasure. No pain, no war, no hunger. A world where he has nothing to do but eat, sleep, and reproduce. And what will happen? Out of sheer ingratitude, he would play some nasty trick. He will contrive destruction and chaos. He will inflict suffering upon himself and others, only to prove that he is still a man and not a piano key. This is the punch to Marx's vision. Dostoevsky isn't arguing about economics. He's aiming straight at the heart of man. Man does not want perfection. He wants freedom. Not the freedom to be fed like cattle, but the freedom to destroy, to rebel, to choose even his own suffering. Why? Because man is not a machine. He is not a piano key, struck by the fingers of the state or the system. He is a soul. Why utopia fails? Every time. Every communist regime that has ever existed has promised utopia. Lenin, Stalin, Pol Pot. They offered the same deal. Sacrifice your freedom, and we'll give you equality. Surrender your soul, and we'll give you peace. And every time, it ends the same way. Famine, gulags, mass executions, truth silenced, God erased. Why? Because you cannot remove suffering without also removing meaning. And man without meaning will burn the world just to feel alive again. The nature of man. Dostoevsky's Underground Man says something else. The whole work of man consists in proving to himself that he is a man, and not a piano key. Man needs struggle, not because he loves pain, but because pain is what sharpens his soul. Courage is impossible without danger. Mercy is meaningless without injustice. Love is empty if it costs nothing. Without suffering, there is no virtue. Without virtue, there is no man. Love, suffering, and the soul. Dostoevsky doesn't just attack communism. He offers an alternative, a deeper truth. To love is to suffer, and there can be no love otherwise. True love, real love, will cost you something. It will break your heart. It will tear your soul. It will demand your sacrifice. And that is what gives it meaning. Communism offers comfort. Dostoevsky offers greatness. Communism promises paradise on earth. Dostoevsky says, carry your cross, and find heaven through your suffering. A prophecy fulfilled. Dostoevsky was mocked in his time. His warnings were ignored by the Russian elites, the revolutionaries, and the philosophers. But history vindicated him. In the 20th century, the communist dream turned into a nightmare. 100 million dead. Truth replaced with propaganda. God replaced with the state. And in the silence of the prisons and killing fields, Dostoevsky's voice echoed. He was right. We are not made for comfort. We are made for trial. What it means for you. So what does this mean for us today? We live in a world that still dreams of utopia. We want safety without sacrifice, love without suffering, truth without cost. But Dostoevsky tells us, you cannot become fully human until you embrace your suffering. You are not a machine. You are not a piano key. You are a soul, a creature of fire and spirit, capable of rising through pain and finding meaning in the storm. Reject the lie, embrace the cross. Dostoevsky's message was never just about politics. It was about salvation. The choice isn't between left or right. It's between slavery to comfort or the freedom of the soul. Embrace the struggle. Love through pain. Walk the narrow road. Because in the end, only through suffering can the soul be saved. And only through love can suffering be redeemed. Join the underground. If you believe this truth matters, if you see through the lie of utopia, then you're not alone. Like this video to fight back against comfort culture. Comment your favorite Dostoevsky quote, or your own insight into human nature. Subscribe to @CryptoStoic Insights, where we dig deep into forgotten truths, ancient wisdom, and the war for the human soul. Because here, we don't run from suffering. We rise through it.